Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Movie News here at MBE. Thank you for joining us once again. I am joined, as always, with John Christopher Walsh. I'm going to give you your proper name, John.
John Christopher Peter Walsh.
And we're not in the
wink.
beers. Promise you, we're not in the beers. We leave that for a Friday night. Swear to God.
Yes, absolutely. And it's a damn good wheat beer as well, Steve.
Yeah, we're right into wheat beers at the moment during lockdown, John. But listen, we'll move on very swiftly before I have another sip. Deadpool co-creator argues Cable should have his own movie. Now, John, watched the show last night. You were going solo. Handled it very well.
Especially with an echo and a delay in my ear. Checking the audio.
I did notice that. MGM was the answer as well. Bond Studios. Yes, I forgot to put that in the chat, by the way. But
it's killing me.
Deadpool co-creator Rob Liefeld strongly believes Josh Brolin's Cable deserves his own series of movies and can exist without Deadpool. Now, I know you touched on this, or you didn't touch on it. It was actually a headline, John, yesterday.
It wasn't about Cable, though.
No.
It was about Wade.
There was something you said, though, and I did agree. I felt that after two movies, I think they did all they could with the Deadpool character, but the potential for obviously the other characters, and you did sort of touch the surface on one of them, Cable, and this came up.
He's a very cool character.
I think this actually, the article dropped, I think, roughly about the time you were doing the show last night. So the co-producer in a new interview with Collider, Liefeld opened up about what he would like to see for Cable in the future. Cable should have his own movie series, Liefeld said. He even stated Cable can have a standalone movie without Deadpool, pointing out that he can exist independent of Deadpool in a heartbeat. He has for years. If Deadpool's been in like 330 comics, Cable's been in about 520. Didn't know that. No. Liefeld also mentioned that Brolin had been looking forward to playing Cable in future films, whether it was an X-Force movie or something completely different. Now, just before I hand it over to you, John, for your thoughts, I always felt after Deadpool 2, great introduction for the Cable character. Well, they hinted it at the end of the first film, did they not? I can't remember. Maybe I'm crossing my streams here, a Ghostbusters reference, but I do recall there was a hint of who the character was going to be in the second film. I felt after the second film that perhaps it might be too soon for a standalone film for Cable. I would have liked to have seen him appear in an X-Force, X-23, New Mutants, something that was coming out or getting talked about at that time when Deadpool 2 came out, before he had his own standalone movie. Now, that's nothing to do with obviously the character's position in the comics. He's, as you know, this co-producer said, Liefeld, he said he's actually appeared in more comics than Deadpool. What's your thoughts anyway, John? We talked about this on Tuesday, was it, when we were talking about X-23? Yeah. The whole takeover thing changed everything, didn't it? It changed the tone, it changed the sort of rating of the Fox properties. We'll get into that as well, the whole Disney, why did they take over these properties? But what's your thoughts on this, John? Would you like to see a Cable standalone film?
I don't know, Stephen, because quite frankly, I don't know enough about the character himself. As you know, we both haven't really immersed ourselves in the comic side of things. Primarily comic book film fans. So my first brush with Cable was when the promotional stuff started hitting for Deadpool 2. And look, when he came along, he was a very interesting character. Also the backstory of losing his family, the tragedy, he's been able to jump through time, and he's a semi-villainous, semi-good guy. He's a villain with a good guy in Deadpool 2, but then as the movie establishes
anti-hero, that's what I like to call him.
He's an anti-hero. It's established that he isn't such a bad guy at all. He's also a firm figure in the X-Force group, alias group, whatever the hell you'd call it. I don't know what the X-Force are. Are they some offshoot of X-Men? I suppose we'll never find out. We did see a brief shot of X-Force, that disastrous scene in Deadpool 2 where they were jumping out of I think it was a plane or a helicopter, and they were getting killed one by one, obviously fake X-Force characters. So I don't know enough about them to state whether I have an authority to state whether I would like to see an onslaught of maybe Cable movies like we've seen with Deadpool, because I don't know if there's enough meat in the bones. Certainly Rob Liefeld is the co-creator, isn't he? He seems to have more knowledge. He will have more knowledge on the character. He's appeared in 500 odd comics, then he would presumably have enough meat on the bones to be able to have his own set of standalone movies. My preference would still though be X-Force, with him being a leading figure in the X-Force movies. Maybe Deadpool coming in and out. I'd still like to see a couple of more Deadpool movies, I have to say. I think the characters perhaps maybe went as far as it could go, because you don't want to keep repeating the same party trick again and again. No. He's profanity laden, he's obviously swearing, he's killing things, and you don't want it to go stale. I mean, look at the great TV shows we've had over here, the likes of Office and whatnot. They knew when their sell-by date was gone, and they knew how to just end it on a high note.
Yeah.
You want to end on a high note with Deadpool. You don't want it going down
this is it,
a sort of sewer, darker rabbit hole. So I'd rather they focus on X-Force with maybe Ryan Reynolds, Wade Wilson coming in, and maybe Cable, Josh Brolin coming back, and him being a leading figure.
Yeah.
As opposed to maybe a standalone movie. But as we will get into, Stephen, I don't think any of these are going to happen.
No.
Because of what you touched upon very briefly at the end, before I came in and spoke, the whole Disney takeover thing, it's completely changed things forever. There is no going back to the old sort of maybe plans they had in place for X-Force movies and maybe Cable and Deadpool having a thing moving forward. New Mutants maybe breeding a trilogy. That's done now. We now have Kevin Feige controlling everything.
Yeah.
And as I spoke about last night on the headline of last night's show, and I would like to hear what your thoughts are, I don't think there's a chance we could see a Deadpool 3 movie. There's always a chance, but I don't know if Kevin Feige will green light the kind of Deadpool movie that we would like to see, the X-rated, profanity-laden stuff. And he's certainly not going to allow this universe to continue
John,
off. He wants it all in the MCU.
I personally think Marvel Studios under Disney would gladly have just swept the New Mutants under the carpet if it hadn't already been filmed, and in the can. I think they would have just happily just called a halt to that if it was maybe just a couple of weeks into production and just went, no, we're done with that. The fact the film was basically done, and then the delays of reshoots, changing the theme a little bit, delay after delay, and then obviously the coronavirus hitting was probably a more convenient thing for the studio. I don't mean the virus being convenient, I mean the timing of it. It's just the one, it's like the film that sort of got out the bag, and they couldn't stop it, so I just feel that Marvel Studios and Disney, they don't want to take the direction that Fox took these characters and these properties in for a good 20 years, with the X-Men films and Deadpool, etc. Fantastic Four will be totally different, but I don't mind that because I don't think that was handled well anyway. And, and other properties as well. But I just don't think we're going to see those characters coming back in any shape or form. That's why, we were talking about Daphne Keane the other day there as well. It would have to be a major shift in tone for that character, and I do not believe for a minute that Marvel Studios and Disney are going to continue with that same theme and the same character that we got in Logan. And it's the same with Brolin's Cable as well. In fact, I was just reading that article there, John. There's an interesting bit because I was really interested to see how Josh Brolin felt about the character as well. I know he loved playing it. I've seen the interviews he did obviously with Ryan Reynolds during its promotional run, and in July of last year Brolin revealed he actually called Marvel Studios to ask what they were doing with Cable. At the time, Brolin said they're figuring it out, but so far there have been no further updates. That suggests to me they don't know what they want to do with it at this moment. That's why they're not in any hurry. Phase 4's coming out for the MCU just now. That's what they're going to concentrate on at the moment. They will have an eye on the Fox stuff, but that will be later down the line. And I don't know if Josh Brolin will hang about that long. It could be another 10 years before. And
he's in his 50s, isn't he, Stephen? So he's not getting any younger, and it's hard to maintain that physique that the man built for this role. So and also he perhaps could. There was talk that Thanos may slip back in at some point. Some cut scene from the Endgame behind the scenes featurette or whatever. Not behind the scenes, but some featurette cut scene, deleted scene, which may slip into maybe the canon at some point. I don't know. The Ancient One's saying to Smart Hulk that they're not technically dead when they get snipped out of existence or snapped out of existence. You can will them back if you have a strong enough person to do it. So he may come back as Thanos at some point as well. Josh Brolin, I don't know.
Well, I think
that'd be more likely than Cable.
But I don't think that's the sort of concern for them, for Marvel, in regards to the actor playing two different characters, because obviously likeness, that they don't look anything the same. Voice kind of hints that they are, but I don't think that would be like their sort of final decision on why they don't want to do this. But it remains to be seen. I don't know if you've got anything else to add, John.
Not much. The final thing I'd say, maybe the Daphne Keane thing. I think she's got slightly more positive chance at coming back because she is still young.
Yeah,
And maybe they can take that off in an interesting sort of slant. Whereas this is so mired and intertwined with Deadpool, and Deadpool's such a different tone to the MCU, as I did say last night. It's darker, it's more profanity laden, it's gorier. That's a little bit too much for the shiny, tickle demographic movies that Disney like to maybe put forward for the MCU. I can't see them ever come together and marrying and being a homogenous.
Do you think it's a good business model though, John, from Disney? Do you think having that sort of perspective, you know, and I don't want to say blinkered sort of perception on things and the way the world works in regards to, you know, real life things and stuff like that, you know, and violence, etc., you know, profanities. Do you think that's something that's going to just stifle them? Because you can see it in Disney Plus. You know, I was so excited to see this, but now I've seen it. I've seen it. You know,
and there's no Indiana Jones movies. There's nothing with violence that came over from Fox and whatnot. You're not allowed anything that's not clean.
No, you're not allowed Daryl Hannah's
clean man.
Daryl Hannah's butt either.
Yes.
In a film,
I get a little hard nights.
Choose your words
carefully
there.
I've totally lost the point, Stephen. So we'll move on from that.
Okay,
Stephen. The final thing I would say, final thing, what you brought up there. I don't think Disney will ever allow X-rated and anything that's not X-rated, R-rated.
Yeah,
maybe X-rated, because as you did say, what was it, Splash and the CGI. They'll never allow anything like that to come onto their sort of name, their brand. But it could slip in under the the Searchlight branding. Yeah. We've seen that with Jojo Rabbit and whatnot. Maybe they'll allow Deadpool to exist under that. I don't know. It was a hard day's night. I had brain completely went absolutely blank. He's a very clean man. That was, of course, the old grandfather in that movie. I get that reference in, but it made no sense to the topic, Steve, so I'll move on that note.
Yep, okay, I'll move on swiftly, John. Just Cause video game movie taps Stuber director Michael Dowse. The Just Cause movie adaptation has found the director Michael Dowse the latest step forward, bringing the classic video game to the silver screen. Now, I know you had this, John, because you did give me a loan of it. I did like it.
Yeah.
The idea of bringing Just Cause to movie theatres has been percolating for a decade now, with various fits and starts. There have been a few significant nuggets that have come since then, with Jason Momoa originally tapped to star as Rodriguez in a Brad Payton-helmed film. With the property in new hands, it's unclear whether or not Momoa is still attached, although it seems unlikely. Last year, John Wick director Derek Kolstad was announced as the writer for the film. Now, John, we both liked the game, didn't we?
Yeah.
I thought it's open world, so you know, if it's an open world game, I'm game.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun. But what's your take on this? Because I do remember Jason Momoa being linked to this at one point. I do remember reading that. Obviously, a lot's happened in the last couple of years, so we've got a new.
Unattainable now.
Yeah.
He's off to stardom.
Yeah.
Obviously playing Aquaman, so he's off the table. Stephen, I think it's ripe to be adapted, and it could work because of just the genre, the fact it is an open
choice
world.
of director, though.
The choice of director, yeah.
Michael Dowse. I don't know if you've seen Stuber, John.
I've not seen Stuber. That was the Batista one, wasn't it? Dave Batista.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I thought
apparently it was crap.
The humour was came across very desperate, very forced, you know.
I'd have to look at Michael Dowse and see what else he has done that could maybe give him some authority taking on a movie like this, perhaps, and making it something that was watchable, because obviously with video game adaptations in the last 20-30 years, they've not been good. The likes of Mortal Kombat, and I keep forgetting that one that Dwayne Johnson was in. You played it, the one with the huge
Rampage.
Rampage.
That was good.
Wasn't that great, the movie?
I mean the game. Not
the game
the
is
film.
not too bad. Lara Croft, obviously Tomb Raider, has mixed results, and we've seen it with Sonic most recently. That was a surprise success, so maybe this and Uncharted will be the start of a renaissance, maybe, or just not even a renaissance. It had to be good to be bad and then come back again. Some would argue it's never been good for video games, but maybe this could be a new lease of life for the genre, the video game adaptation genre, if that's even a genre. Technically it's action, so it's not a genre. But maybe this could restore confidence in consumers' eyeballs, I like to refer to them as now, going and watching video game adaptations. Stephen, it is a good game, the one I played anyway. I think there's been a lot of them now. I've not kept up with it in recent times, but it's almost like Far Cry and whatnot, where the scope there, you can take the character as a sort of primary character, you can move on into different locations, different parts of the world, different antagonists, and you could make it work as a sort of generic action movie, and it'd be absolutely watchable. But what's going to elevate it is who they do get into play the leading character, because if it's not Jason Momoa, then you really need someone with gravitas.
John, do you know who I see in the role? Frank Grillo. I don't know why.
Frank Grillo would be
I
fantastic.
don't know why. I just think it's the sort of genre suits him as well, and the look of Rodriguez as well looks like Frank Grillo to me. But that's just my tuppence worth.
Certainly does, Steve. I mean, you've seen it. Predator, a couple of years back, they got that guy in whose name is so forgetful now that I can't even remember his name, but he wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger. They brought it in, and sort of the movie rested on that guy's authoritative sort of role, his presence. He was the guy leading the human sort of spearhead against the Predator. Multiple Predators, because there was even bigger Predators later on in the movie, cannibalising the original Predator. And because he lacked sort of the charisma of a Schwarzenegger or a Stallone, the movie fell flat for me. That is absolutely what's necessary with this, and at least with Tom Holland in the Uncharted movie, might not be the biggest, most sort of believable action hero, but he's got loads of charisma. And I can't recall who it is that's walking alongside him in the movie, but it's another big name that's walking alongside him in that movie. And you've got a really good cast there, and it's a charismatic cast, and he can do action. We've seen it with Spider-Man, so that is going to be the most important thing. I don't know much about the director. I've looked in. He's done the likes of Goon, ain't seen it. He's done What If, I haven't seen it. You see the role or the pattern starting to emerge here. I've not seen many of the guy's movies, so I don't know whether he's a good choice for this action genre or not. It seems he's done maybe a lot of comedic movies with action comedy. And I don't know if that will marry well with the Just Cause. I suppose it depends on where they want to go with the story. Is it going to be more serious centric, or is it going to be a more light comedic action movie? I don't know. Time will tell. It's been so long since I played the game. It was many, many moons back, but it was a very, very enjoyable game, Steve. I recall parachuting out and doing all manner of crazy. And I love Far Cry. Why is Far Cry not been put forward as an adaptation for a movie yet? Why is Halo not been adapted to film yet? I recall a great TV show with Halo leading up to, I think it may have been Halo 4, little mini-series, and it was fantastic. And it didn't even feature the likes of the Master Chief and stuff like that. It was just little ground, everyday troops. That's another one they need to get into, Stephen. I think you may be gone here forever.
I think I am, I
will pop up this graphic very briefly, and we will try and sort it out. We'll go to this graphic. Oh, thanks for watching. Sadly not. We've got different ones going on here. What a shambles. 2 seconds, guys. I'll try and get this to work. It's not working. Okay. Let's go.
We'll get some incidental music up there, John.
There you go, Stephen. You're back. Woo! But as I says, look, we made a broken on the sort of choice of actors and director being appropriate for the movie. I don't know, Stephen. It's going to be interesting. I'm more excited for Uncharted, to be honest with you. So there you go.
I'm more excited about Indiana Jones 5, and that's what we're going to speak about next, John.
Yes, I'm more excited about that, Stephen, as well.
Interesting article coming from Screen Rant, John. Ford's return needs to be like Blade Runner and not Star Wars now. That's kind of intrigued me, because there was always something in the background with Han Solo in The Force Awakens. And listen, I'm not going to kid on. You know, when that trailer dropped, Chewie, we're home. How excited were we all?
We were, fantastic, man.
You know, it was their return to form, or so we thought, anyway.
Listen, he wasn't the worst.
No, Harrison
Ford finger point there. He wasn't the worst.
Harrison Ford's returns in Indiana Jones 5 should have more in common with his role in Blade Runner 2049 than Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now, I'm not really going to read the article here, John, but it's a very lengthy article. But the gist of it is, obviously, it's really about writing and the character and really picking up from where he was left, you know. And the case of, obviously, Blade Runner 2049, there was this large gap of 30 years, maybe not as much as that. Maybe
it was.
Was it as much as that?
No, it may have been more. It may have been
1982. So work that one out.
Well, I'm talking about in Universal terms.
Oh well,
Universal.
It
was at 2049, and when was the original one? It may have been a 40-year gap.
Yeah,
30-year gap.
Now, but getting back to the writing. Now, I've only seen Blade Runner 2049 once, so I'd have to rewatch it again really to get what they're saying here in regards. But for Star Wars: The Force Awakens, I always felt that I was disappointed that Han Solo's arc had reverted back to the way he was pre A New Hope. Yeah. He went back to the smuggling thing. I felt the character developed so well in those 3 films, the original trilogy, up to the point where he was really just doing the same thing in Return of the Jedi. He wasn't really needed, but what I mean is, he came full circle. He wasn't this mercenary that he was in A New Hope. He was fighting for something. He was fighting in a cause. He had that belief again. There was little bits in The Force Awakens that I did like. I liked the fact that he came round to the fact of accepting the Force as a thing, and it was real. He says that in the trailer, doesn't he? And he had a lot of stuff to do in that film, but I don't think he moved on. Or he moved back the way I should say. I would have preferred to have seen him more in a sort of political role. At his age, Harrison Ford's age, I know he's a fit guy and stuff like that, and he can handle the action and stuff like that, but I would have liked to have seen him go down the same road as Leia, in regards to fighting the cause from a political stance, as well as action as well, because he is Han Solo after all. But just that development, I don't know what your thoughts are on this, John. In Blade Runner 2049, was it you that said that he's more like Luke? He was
like Luke in The Force Awakens. He was hunting for this infamous Blade Runner who had disappeared off the face of the earth, and it was sort of the search for Rick Deckard, but there was more payoff when he actually found him. I think it was Kay, was Ryan Gosling's character's name in Blade Runner 2049. When I actually found him, they did something useful with him. He actually had a use at the end, and obviously Luke, he was shat upon. His character was completely butchered in The Last Jedi. Not the case with Rick Deckard, so perhaps this is what this article's getting at. And maybe it's just the sort of soul of the character as well. As you said, Stephen, they never really developed Han Solo in the sequel trilogy. He was in one movie, then he get killed. He was played as the joke, almost like Schwarzenegger in Dark Fate.
But I felt Han Solo in The Force Awakens was running around just the way he was in A New Hope. It was like the character went back the way. And I didn't like that. I've got to be honest. I didn't like that, going back to his old ways. And
that's precisely what they didn't do in 2049. He was an older, wiser guy. He'd evolved. He'd been through some stuff, and he was changing. He also imparted some wisdom on Kay. And I think that it was primarily about Ryan Gosling's character, that movie. It wasn't a Harrison Ford movie by any means. It was his journey. It has been a number of years since I've seen it. I'm pretty sure he was sort of grappling with existentialism. Was he a replicant or was he a human? And there was whole sort of connection issues and just AI and forming relationships with them. It was very disconnected, very dystopian. That's something, again, I think that's what they are getting at. This new Indiana Jones movie, they can't primarily focus it around a 70-odd-year-old Harrison Ford. He's just not, even though he's still in great shape, as you did allude to, Stephen. I mean, that was like 5 years ago. He's still in great shape even now. He's in better shape than me, let's be honest. He's not quite in the shape he was in the 1980s and the 1990s, where he could play a leading action role and run about and it'd be believable. And you're not like, this is just some old guy running about in a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. They have to fit the role to his age. It has to be age, I don't know relevant, but if relevant's the right word, but it has to be age sensibly. They have to sensibly tailor the role.
He's a lot older. Harrison Ford's a lot older than Sean Connery was when he did The Last Crusade.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think they were around about the same age.
Yeah, there was a 5-year gap.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. But I don't really want to see him getting in that role in Indiana Jones 5. I don't really want to see him playing a second fiddle or anything like that. I would rather they change the tone and the sort of pace of the film. That's what I felt with the...
Because they done it with LaBeouf.
Yeah, the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Get some young guy to do the running about if you want, like Shia LaBeouf.
Would you want him back, Stephen?
Well, I don't think he wants to come back, or he's not been asked back. I can't remember, John, but I don't think he's involved in it in any way. I actually don't mind Shia LaBeouf. I've enjoyed a couple of his films, John.
Most recently, yeah.
Yeah, and he's a terrific actor. I know that he's had his issues off screen, over the last decade or so, but I do like the guy, you know. I
Yeah,
just
terrific
felt
guy as well, Stephen. Very
it's
grounded.
a hard role to sort of fill in as well, you know, playing the kid of, you know, an iconic role, very much like the kid in The Mummy, you know. It's just, you're going to hate him, you know. Bit bratish as well, I felt, the way that it was written. So I would like to see, you know, I don't know what he's called, Henry Jones Jr. I don't know what he's called, can't remember. But I'd like to see someone younger doing the sort of grafting, if you like, and have, you know, Indiana Jones, his experience. You know, I want, he's got decades of experience in his field, you know, and what he's been through and stuff like that. But I don't want to see him in sort of Henry Jones, Sean Connery's role, in any fashion, the sort of comedic.
Yeah, he's using the umbrella
dad,
to scare,
you know,
the birds out of the plane and whatnot.
Yeah.
No, Stephen, look, you did have a great scene with Ryan Gosling as well in Blade Runner 2049. It was a great fight sequence where it was like sort of holographic Elvis performance he's playing out.
Yeah.
So he showed even in that role, even though he was more wiser and he clearly aged a bit, and he wasn't just the same character from 30 odd years ago. They developed and handled the character with care, and that's down to Denis Villeneuve as well. That was a guy that obviously really understood, really enjoyed the Blade Runner universe, and he knew where to take the character. He knew what was a fitting evolution for the guy. That's something that they could utilise in an Indiana Jones movie, but they could inject some humour in, because as I did say, he is a fit guy. You also said it as well, and we did see it in Blade Runner 2049. Despite the evolution, he did still have little moments of sort of spurts of action in there. So it's going to come down to just managing the guy correctly in the end. You can't have the movie completely centred around a 78-year-old guy. It's just not going to work. It's an action movie. It's famed for really quick pacing. I mean, I've watched, what was it, The Raiders? I think I watched fairly recently. Yeah. Is that the one with Sean Connery?
The Last Crusade.
The Last Crusade. And it was ridiculously quick. I forgot just how quick it was paced. It was relentless. Just non-stop action, unbelievable, in your face, quick pace. That's something that's synonymous with that movie. It's like Star Wars as well. There's a certain tone to it, there's a certain pacing, and it was lost in that last one with LaBeouf. It didn't feel like Indiana Jones. They have to get the tone right, they have to get the pacing right. The handling of Indy himself, or Junior, or whatever the hell his name is.
Junior. Yeah.
They have to get it all right, man. It all has to come together, and get a decent little side co-character to come in. If it's not LaBeouf, someone else who can take some of the weight off of him and keep that tone and that pace going forward. But I'm excited for it, man. Yeah. He's excited for it.
I'm interested to find out what period it's going to be set in as well. It's going to be the 1950s or 60s, probably the 1960s, because I think the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was just borderline 50s, wasn't it? Shia LaBeouf had the sort of Elvis hairstyle, didn't he, at that point, and the leathers and the motorcycle and stuff like that. So probably the 1960s it'll probably be set in.
That's an interesting
It would probably be about right anyway for Indiana Jones's age, you know. So but listen, we'll just have to keep our fingers on the pulse with that one and watch this space. But we're going to finish up the show with this last article, John. This has been something that's been talked about over the last few days now. Well, it's been actually talked about since 2003. You know, Kill Bill 3, this is, of course, or Kill Beatrix 3, whatever they want to call it. Vivica Fox, I think that's how you say her. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Vivica, yeah.
Very correctly thinks Kill Bill 3 should star Zendaya as Black Mamba's daughter. Now, Fox, she was speaking to NME, which is one of our publications over here in the UK, and she said, I haven't got any official word. I had a feeling that hopefully Tarantino was waiting on the actress who plays my daughter to grow up a little bit. But then I was doing an interview, and they asked, what young actress would you get to play your daughter? And I was like, no, Ambrosia Kelly. I think that's who played the original character back in 2003, but they meant an established actress, so I went Zendaya. How hot would that be? And that would probably greenlight this project. Her and Uma are both very tall, and it would just be kick butt, and I love her. Now, I recall reading, I don't know if it was maybe a few weeks ago, John, Quentin Tarantino and Uma Thurman were having lunch, and they did speak about Kill Bill 3. It was really just, I think, a fantasy chat. You know, I don't think he's going to do this. If he's going to have one last film in him, John, I think the one genre he's not tackled yet is sci-fi, and I've got a funny feeling that's what he's going to end up doing.
Star Trek.
But he's always regarded Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 as being one movie, so he might be playing on words here, and he might do the third part and count it as part of the one movie, if you like.
Three-part,
yeah,
sort of
you know,
3-arc movie.
But I don't know what your thoughts are on my theory about sci-fi as his last runner, because he was interested in doing a Star Trek film at one point, and I think it would be very interesting if he did something very much Alien-esque, if you like, you know. But let's get back on topic. Zendaya, would you like to see her in Kill Bill 3?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Stephen, I would. And just what the actress actually said, she's bang on. She is very tall. She's sort of gangly. I think she's like 5'10" or something.
Yeah.
And also, my thumb 6 foot, so the two of them would, sort of stature-wise, it'd be a perfect showdown.
And about the right age as well.
Around about the right age, so it would work beautifully. And I love the concept of this story, just that sort of conflict in the house sparking off another revenge story, and it's poetic.
It's like full circle.
Yeah, it's full circle.
Yeah.
She breaks out on a revenge story, and then it flips, and she is now the target of the revenge story. It's absolutely poetic. It's almost as if Tarantino knows exactly what he's doing, Stephen. This guy's got it all sorted out. He's a great writer. He knows how to create a sort of 3-arc movie. It all just combines together beautifully. It's not like he's one of the best directors in the history of Hollywood, you know what I mean? He's an absolute gimp the way I'm talking there, you know, it makes no sense, John. This is Quentin Tarantino. But look, I love it. I love the idea. I think Zendaya's a fantastic actress. We've seen her in the Spider-Man movies and whatnot. She can handle herself. She can do action very, very well. She's got charisma. She has got the height. She's got everything. I like the concept of the story, as I did say. I just hope that this isn't going to be the end of Tarantino. Come what may, I hope that he does many, many more movies. I just hope this is all him just blowing smoke up his own ass, as they like to say in America, or arse, as they say here.
Arse.
And it's just playing everyone, playing the gallery. I hope he does many, many more movies. I hope we get a Star Trek R-rated movie from Tarantino. I hope we get more period piece movies from him, more gritty crime movies, more sort of wistful looks back to the past in Hollywood and things like that, and more Kill Bill movies. I just want to see more for this guy. He's one of my favourite directors of all time.
Yeah.
And this is one of the few sort of duologies that I would like to see expanded out into a trilogy. I think that it's fitting, the story is there, it's ripe, and it's there for it would be innate to sort of coin, what was that one that you got yesterday? I think it was it wasn't Kit Harington, it was God, I can't even remember the topic, where he says it has to be innate and feel right.
Yeah.
It was Alden Ehrenreich talking about soul.
Yeah.
It's innate, it's just there, it's ripe, everything's there. Uma Thurman's still at the right age for it. It just works, man.
Yeah.
I'm up for it.
Now, John, there's a little bit in
Hollywood,
this article. It's actually a Collider's article. It says the star will be Vernita Green's daughter, Nikki. Tarantino told Entertainment Weekly in 2004. I've already got the whole mythology. Sophie Fatale, Julie Dreyfus that is, will get all of Bill's money. She'll raise Nikki, who'll take on the bride. Nikki deserves her revenge every bit as much as the bride deserves hers. Now, I think a lot of people have hung on to these words for so long, 16 years, John, in the hope that Volume 3 will come out. I don't see it like that. Tarantino is a world builder within his own head.
Yeah.
He comes up with brands for cigarettes,
Yeah.
burgers, restaurants, etc. He has characters related, brothers, etc., in different films, different timelines. It's the Tarantino world, and I think when he says he's got, he's already got this whole mythology, that's all in his head. I think that's what helps him write good films. He thinks the whole picture, not just for what you're seeing in the film, but he thinks out what happens before it, what happens after it, the consequences after that, and what happens after that years to come.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he's going to make that film. I just think that's the way he thinks, that's the way he processes his storytelling.
And it's the right way to do it, Stephen. That's the way to build a rich, diverse sort of foundation for a world.
Not J.K. Rowling.
I know we're not,
J.K. Rowling.
we're not talking about J.K. Rowling on here, Steve.
No.
But what I think it's the right way to do it. I think that's what you're right. What makes his Tolkien? Yes, that's
he's a world builder,
Yes, I was about to say that, Stephen.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. People don't like. A lot of people hate Tolkien's writing. His technique, he's very repetitive. He lingers on descriptions a little bit too long. I personally love it. It immerses me into the world. I have a great imagination. It's great for someone like me. But what you cannot decry that guy or deride that guy from having was a great brain and world building, as you did say. And Tarantino's almost like the filmmaking version of that. He just builds beautifully rich movies and worlds.
Yep.
And this is one of them. And it's just such a great sort of epic. And the fact that he had this written, or maybe mentally stored, compartmentalised in his brain all the way back 16 years ago, and it's still floating around. He's still not done it. It just feels like it has to be done. It feels right. As I said, it feels innate. So make it happen, Quentin. Force a goddamn studio to do it, but don't make it your last movie, please.
No. I want to see that sci-fi one.
Yeah, make a couple more after that, Star Trek and whatnot. Maybe even do a Star Wars movie, you know. Show Kathleen Kennedy how it's done. Use the effing Force and things like that, and maybe get Samuel L. back so we can fling in some mother reference and whatnot. It just feels right, Stephen. But look, I am ready to go down a rabbit hole, so I will call a halt on the show at that note, Stephen, unless you've got anything else to say.
I've got nothing more to say.
Well, what do you guys make about the topics we spoke about on tonight, this morning show, depending on where you are? It's certainly tonight here.
A hard day's night.
A hard day's night, yeah. That was the beer. I'm blaming the beer. A combination of weights and beer sent me over the edge momentarily. I had a complete brain fart. What do you make about Cable? Does he deserve to have his own standalone movie aside from Deadpool? What's your thoughts on this Just Cause movie? Are you happy with that director choice? You want to see Stuber meeting Just Cause? What's your thoughts on Indiana Jones 5? Should Harrison Ford be channeling his inner Han Solo or his inner Rick Deckard? I know what my choice is, and it's certainly Deckard. What do you make about Zendaya? Should she play the Black Mamba's daughter in Kill Bill 3? Should Kill Bill 3 even happen? If you have anything to say about any of the topics we spoke about now, you can comment down below. I don't know what that was there. You can comment down below in the comments section. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it, and you can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Lord knows I don't know why you would, because this has been a car crash of a show. See you tomorrow for a review of Die Hard 2.